Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video we're going to be doing a basics level guide or a beginner's guide for Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Now this guide is probably for people that's not sure if they want to buy the game, they want to know a bit about it, what the mechanics are and all the basic stuff like that. Also, in the case of a lot of people, you're probably too young to have played the originals back on the PS1 and you just want to see what the game is like. So the Reignited Trilogy will bring you a complete remake of the 3 classic Spyro games for the PS1. They're all pretty much got the same basic mechanics in them to a certain degree, so we'll probably just play the first one and then get onto it. Now there are a lot of cool little facts when you compare the new Reignited Trilogy to the original ones. But like I said, we're going to treat this as a brand new game, or for people that have never played any of the Spyro games at all. So like, obviously back in the day when Spyro was a thing on PS1, it was the cool kids kind of game, the classic platformer. So that's obviously what this type of game is, because back then pretty much all the good games were these classical 3D platformers, which personally I like quite. Lucky enough, I am old enough to have played at least some of the classical Spyros. Not that I remember too much, to be honest, but it's still very nostalgic nonetheless. So we've got the classic 3 save slots, even though a lot of games obviously these days have more than one save slot, but just the 3 classic save slot with the percentage of each game. Obviously, each save will contain all 3 of the games, and you can see the percentage of all 3 of the games. So like I said, at the moment we're only just going to be playing Spyro the Dragon, which is the very first one. We're going to go an empty slot. Here you can pick which game. Fun little fact here on the main menu, the only piece of music in this game that is composed by the original composer is this song right here on the menu. After that, everything is being remade from scratch. So like I said, we're going to go to the original Spyro the Dragon. I'm going to try and not mention too many things comparing the original and this one, like I said, but if there's a cool little fact, I would like to point it out, because I think some of them are very interesting. Just the simple fact that they didn't have access to the original code of this game, and they had to play this game on an emulator, extracting all the data to basically recode it themselves. So like all the jumps are exactly the same height, everything's the exact same place, distance and everything. So everything is identical to the original one, which is really cool, and they had to extract it manually. This is just a little open cutscene. To be honest, like I said, I didn't really play much of the... Well, I mean, I did play the original, but it was such a long time ago, I can't even remember like if this cutscene even existed, to be perfectly honest. But nonetheless, we've got the typical humor from these games in these eras.
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom.
No threat?
Besides, he is ugly.
Ugly? That does it!
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
And there starts our adventure. So the main thing, obviously at least in the first Spyro game, is to rescue the rest of the dragons. And though they are kind of like a collectible, look how pretty this is, by the way. Like, if anybody has played the first one, or at least seen some on the internet, you can notice that it's the same place, but it just looks insanely pretty. So obviously, if you've never played a classic 3D platformer, basically there are hub worlds, which would be this, and then there are other little entrances to other worlds. So in the hub world we've got collectibles. So collectibles, like on most of these classic 3D platforms, you can just press the pause menu and see it. So here in Artisans, which is this hub area, we can find 100 gems and 4 dragons. So both those collectibles are pretty important. You obviously don't have to collect all of them to advance through the main story, but you will have to collect a certain amount. For instance, to advance to the next hub area, we need to save 10 dragons. So here's our first dragon.
For releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the Artisan.
Cool thing about the dragons on this game, or the trilogy, is that they all had their own unique aspect, whereas on the original there was they pretty much all looked the same. So that's kind of cool. They all got their own voice, dialogue, and everything, which is really nice. Some of the dragons actually change their dialogue depending on the situation, as we'll see in a minute. So at the start it's very, very easy. I mean, it's not a hard game. I mean, there are a few tricky levels maybe that are kind of hard, but for the most part it's not going to be the hardest game you've played. It's actually you guys probably know I'm very into Dark Souls, and it's always nice to have this nice chill change of pace to a certain degree. There are a few enemies or levels that can kind of start to annoy you a bit. So we got another dragon down here. Like I said, this is the hub area, but in all fairness, I was about to say, like, the hub area is obviously going to be small. I mean, they are, but to be honest, on this game, the levels are pretty small themselves. Like, the levels aren't huge levels. You're not gonna, I mean, there are some secrets in the levels and that, and I don't think you can really get lost there, although, you know, it's not about getting lost, it's about finding the secrets. But in general, the levels are very, very small. Well, not very, very small, but fairly small if you're used to maybe today's games, I guess. They're definitely not huge. There are more types of collectibles. If we go into a level, I will show you. You can catch this guy. These guys take 3 hits. All enemies do drop gems, so if you are going for the 100% of this game, you will have to kill all the enemies. Since if not, you won't get all the gems for the level. So in this level, for instance, or in this hub area, there are just gems and dragons, and they're the collectibles. However, in a lot of the areas, not all of them, if you come here and go to the guidebook, here you can see the collectibles of every level we've been into. But if we press the triangle button, we can see skill points. Now, these are kind of just extra challenges that are in certain levels. As you can see, we do have one here in the Artisans, which is reach tricky platform. They're not really that descriptive about it. It's quite vague, but you get the hang of it, and you kind of understand what they are after seeing the level. The tricky platform here is this platform here, which is not really that tricky. You just have to glide to it, and that will give you the skill point, which will pretty much just give you a life as well. So okay, so I think, though we obviously haven't done 100% of this hub area, it's quite easy. As you can see, there's another dragon here, and I've got one more dragon, which is down the other passageway. So we'll just go ahead and, obviously, dragons try and give you tips, though. Like, they're pretty damn obvious, most of them anyway.
You have much to learn first. Do you know what the Dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
So, as this guy's just tried to explain, the dragonfly that is with us, depending on how much health we've got, he will change color. To heal him, we have to get butterflies, which you can get from, like, killing most of these little normal animals, like the innocent type of animals around the level. They will normally give you health or butterflies, and there's not really much more to the dragonfly anyway. It's just basically a way to show us how much health. Fun fact that in the original game, the butterfly, or the the dragonfly didn't actually have arms. He does in this game, so it's kind of interesting, I guess. Sometimes if you're idle, he will wave at you at the screen. Also, talking about idle, the music in the trilogy is dynamic, so maybe if you're idle, the music will change pace, or if you're rushing, the music will change to a faster pace, whereas in the original game, it didn't change. I think you can change it on the menu if you want it dynamic, or like the original. So this would be the second world, or the next world, or one of the worlds. There's no specific order you have to do them in. Like in the Artisans, there's like 4 or 5 different worlds, and you can go into whatever one you like. So we're in Stone Hill, 200 gems, 4 more dragons, and a egg. So eggs are a very important collectible in this game, and we'll be showing you those in a second. So obviously the basics, some chests you can only open by charging. If anything's metal, basically you can't affect it with flames, yet it be armor, enemy armor, or anything like that. You have to charge in to be able to affect it. However, there are some metal chests that have locks on them, and you will need a key, as you're about to see in a second, or not in a second, but very soon anyway. Thank you very much. So another difference from the original game is every time you save a dragon, on the original game you had to go up to the ferry, press triangle or talk, and then save the game. But because we're on next gen, we just have to go past it and it will auto save. The ferry will like launch this little ball, or this little blue ball at us, and that means that we're saving the game. Let's get that out of the way. Alright, let's go and save a few dragons and go and get the egg that's been stolen. So here's another dragon. Like I said, the tips the dragons give you aren't really that amazing, let's just say.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
I mean, they're not all horrible, but for the most part, they're kind of obvious. For the most part, anyway. Right, so let's go and get our first dragon egg. Dragon eggs are always, have always been stolen by these little blue guys just here with the blue hats or whatever. They always try and run away. Just charge and follow them until you're close enough. Sometimes you can actually kill them by charging into them, but it's kind of difficult. Just when you're close enough, just let go of the square button and then press the circle button or whatever console you're playing on to flame breath him, and that will pretty do. You do sometimes have to be quick, because if you wait a tiny bit, it's gone. I do believe there's also, like we said before, a challenge in this level, Stonehill, burn the hidden pink tulip, which we actually have right here. There's one tulip in the level, and there it is, so burn that, get the skill point, and you get the rough idea to do 100% of the level. I don't even think you have to do the skill point to get the 100%, obviously. The 100% are just these things down bottom, the 200 gems, dragons, and the egg. The rest of it, the skill points aren't actually there for the 100%. Now there is a chest in this level that requires a key, even though it's metallic, you can't just charge through it. So let's go and find the key after we talk to this very helpful dragon.
All the dragons pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks.
Right. So obviously this is the portal to finish the level and go home. If you go home and then return, the collectibles won't respawn, but obviously the enemies will. Down here there's a little secret area with the key we are looking for, which is just here. Obviously, like, the chest with the key, or the chest that requires the key, isn't like no extra secret or anything. It's just gonna have gems. Normally chests with key, not all of them, but most of the chests with key holes normally give you about 10 gems. So here we have it. You just walk up to it and there we go. And there's also a dragon down here. And to be honest, like, as far as collectibles go and challenges or skill points, I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously some of the challenges can vary, like do the level perfect without getting hit, for instance, or kill a certain amount of enemies. The only things that can vary a lot are the skill points, obviously, because as you can see here, all balls stuck. So in like one of the other levels, if you don't want to kill the balls but you want to get them stuck in the ground, you've got to charge at them instead of flaming them. It's just like all very level specific things that you'll figure out how to do once you're in the level. A lot of them just say perfect, that means do the level without getting hit. And in general, that's pretty much the only type of collectibles there are. I do want to show one more thing before ending the video though. I'm going to go back to the hub area. You can just exit the level like this. Though I'm not 100% sure if this counts as that you've completed the level if you exit like this. Like, for instance, to face the first boss, it asks you to complete one level. I'm not sure if doing that counts or not, to be honest. But to be honest, like, the bosses aren't really that bosses. It's more like just a random enemy running around, or like not random, but like a bigger enemy running around the level for the most part. So we're not probably going to show you that. Right, so for instance, there are like different types of levels. Over here there's a little secret. It's quite an obvious one, but if you jump on all these little stones, it will open up a secret level here in Artisans. And this level is a bit different, and this one's actually quite hard. This is actually like, the difficulty balance is really weird. Like all the other levels in the Artisans are very easy for the most part. But this one's a different type of level. This is one of those levels where you're flying around and you have to destroy everything. And this can actually, like, because you're on a timer, this can actually, you have to do it rather, not perfect, but you have to know what order you're going to do everything in. And if you miss something, you're probably going to have to restart. Like, we've got to do all the chests, we've got to do all the planes, we've got to do all the barrels, and we've got to do all the, oh shit. See, this could have screwed everything up. Like, we've already missed this chest, and we fell in the water. Well done. It's kind of because you can't turn that tight on this game, and once you miss one thing, you kind of get nervous, and you're like, well, I can't really just turn around and get it. You know what I mean? Like, you've actually got to go around half the level again just to get an angle on it, and you end up screwing up even more trying to get an angle on something that you can't get. So it's not the fact that you don't have time if you screw up, but if you if you don't know where to turn around or how to turn around perfectly, then you're probably screwed. So I've done all the chests. Now I've got to do all the barrels. There's 2 on each train. Obviously, this isn't the specific order you have to do it in to do it. This is just the order I like doing it in. It always works if you don't screw up, obviously. So I've done that. Now you want to go over here, over the bridge, and you want to do 2 of these things, I believe, and that will lead you to the plane area, and then you got to kill the planes, and then do the rest of the loot. Like I said, you don't obviously have to do everything in the same order as me, or you don't have to do anything in any order specifically, to be honest. This is just the order I figure out is best for me. Anyway, there's obviously better orders or whatnot. I just always do it in this order. 3 more planes. Sometimes it's really weird. Sometimes you think that the flames are going to go a lot further, yet they don't. But we should do this no problem now. Got 20 seconds spare. You get 3 seconds every time you go through one of these. Obviously the gap in between these is more than 3 seconds. We're kind of getting a bit into advanced guides at this point. I don't think this is really what this video is meant for, but yeah, I think you guys get the basics of the games, the mechanics. I know we haven't really talked about the attacks we've got, but I think it's very obvious. There's only really 2 attacks. We've got a charge attack and a flame attack, and that's pretty much it. If you press jump at the top of the jump, as the dragons have probably mentioned 50 times by now, you will glide, and when you're gliding you press the charge attack and you will go down. Like, as far as buttons and stuff go, there's really not much more to say. So I think that's pretty much going to be it for our basics guide. If you're wondering what this game is about, if you've never played the originals and you're just thinking of picking it up, maybe, like I said, they do vary a bit on number 2 and 3, but not too much. The basics are there. Like I said, you've got charge, fire, which you can do as much as you want, obviously, and you can charge as much as you want as long as you don't hit something like that. And as far as buttons go, jump and then glide. You can kind of control it. And if you're gliding, you press square to go down, and that's like literally pretty much the 100% of the buttons in this game. It's a simple game. It's a simple game, but it's a really good one. Like, if you've never really played any classic 3D platforms, I totally recommend picking this up, considering you get 3 games. I mean, the games aren't that long. At least like the first one, for instance, you can 100% or 120% in 9 hours, I believe. So like, at least they're not going to be like huge games, though 9 hours to 100% for a PS1 classic game isn't bad, considering you get 2 other games for not a full priced game. So yeah guys, I think we're going to leave this video here. If this was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. Remember, we are live on Twitch pretty much every day, And if you really did like the content, please consider joining as a member down bottom. And yeah guys, thanks again, take care.